My name is Inna Rogatchi, and I'm a writer and philanthropist and fine art photographer. With my husband Michael, we're trying to create very many various projects, all of them preserving eternal light of Jewish heritage. That's why Chanukkah is so special for us. I'm very happy to tell a little bit about myself and my family and my husband. My family has a very long story. It comes from as far as Toledo in Spain on my father's side. It goes through France, Germany, Poland, Krakow, and goes to Lithuania, and then it gets to Ukraine. On my mother's side, it starts from Poland, Krakow, goes to Lithuania, going to Western Belarusia, nearby place when Mark Chagall was born, and then goes to Ukraine, where my parents met. And my mother was a legendary teacher, and my father was a very talented engineer. And we lived very modest, very warm Jewish life. My grandmother was a legendary cook, and she kept the house warm and inviting. And I met my husband Michael at Dnipropetrovsk University. And then soon after we went to St. Petersburg, which used to be called Leningrad then. And he switched into theater soon after, and we both used to work in very good, big, interesting, best at the time in Soviet Union. Then tragedy happened to our life. Our daughter contracted cancer because of Chernobyl, because my parents still lived there and she visited them. And thanks to our many dear friends in culture and theater, we were able to get to Finland to treat her. And this is a story of itself, and I wrote a book about it. It's called My Finnish Family, because it was what it was. I'm interested in history and people, and that's my main subject. And both my husband and I are very active in philanthropy. Also, I think we wanted to do something special and new, and when a human being is asking himself what he is living for, what legacy he would like to leave behind him, I think that we always, both of us, are thinking about new, talented, original, creative, and special. And this all we would like to, and trying to reflect in our art, but also in our philanthropy, which is sort of inseparable thing for us. Both philanthropy and art goes together for us.
This is Leah, and Leah had prophecy. She knew that she will be predecessor of King David. This is Deborah, one of 7 prophetess. I want to show her cleverness, her power, her understanding, and her strength. This is a work called Hidden the Book. It's because the book is very, very, very important part in the whole Jewish life, from the beginning to the end. And I showed you this mostly in my childhood, when I see how my grandfather, how he was guide this book, how he take care about it. And we have an enormously big library. And all our life was connected to books. And this is lullaby. This is portrait of my mom. And I make it because I remember the Yiddish song about small word, which my mom sang to me before I go.
tell you about my project, The Route. Here is a map which I developed. The map is about route, about the way, historic way of Jewish people throughout centuries, from Israel, number one, going to Spain, Portugal, be expelled from there, going to Italy, going to France, Germany, Poland, Prague, being on the way to Amsterdam and London, going throughout all Europe, coming to Central Europe, Poland, Lithuania, and coming as far as Finland, and then returning back to Israel, both literally and metaphorically. My father, Isaac Boyanover, was a very talented engineer and a very well-read person as everybody in our household. But he also, most and foremost of all, he was a very keen photographer. And when I was young, since I was 5 years old, he was not only photographing with me and everybody, but he was teaching me, he was telling me about it and showing me and telling a lot of details. Till today, I still have his handwritten manual, the small yellow book, and he was just written all kinds of exponentes and all kinds of those things. And but then I didn't photograph professionally for many years. And then about 7-8 years ago, I just felt that it's probably time. I started to see things differently. I started to remember what my father taught me, and I started to want to do it, and I do since then. So I'm just keeping his lessons alive, I imagine. It all started in Jerusalem. Then our people went to Spain and Portugal. From where we were expelled and we went to Italy, Austria, Netherlands, England, France, Poland, Czech Republic, Germany, Scandinavia, and then back to Jerusalem. Arts Against Cancer has been an idea of my husband Michael, and it happened in the end of 80s. Our daughter got contracted cancer from Chernobyl, and after Chernobyl catastrophe, she visited our parents in Ukraine. And Chernobyl had an effect on all over Ukraine, and in the way how river flew from Chernobyl down. It was concealed from public. Nobody knew about it. Otherwise, we would never let our daughter visit her grandparents there, as many thousands of others. So she contracted a very heavy cancer, a very rapidly progressing one, and we tried to save her.
What happened to our family, and how we were treated from different people, absolutely different people, Jewish, not Jewish, professionals, not professionals, scholars, not scholars.
So we came down to Finland for her treatment and met there with extraordinary understanding, help and support. When our daughter got treatment for cancer, also she was not saved, but Finnish society at all and every level provided us with extraordinary support, help and love. And been seeing it, Michael decided, have the idea of establishing international culture charity. Our daughter was still alive at that moment, and she was our partner in this soul. And so that's how it started. We were supported by very many leading public figures, artists all over the world, all of them having a cancer story in their family. So the marriage of thoughts between people who were big in art and public life and their charitable inspirations and charitable thinking and willingness to do so brought a very good result.
We make just collect money for action, for some precise charity. We pick up some most needed person or institution and collect money for them and deliver it with some medicine, some doctors' helps, some connections with another doctors, like this. And we was involved in collecting money for educational program for doctors and nurses who work with cancer for patients. Secondly, after 10 years of this activity, we decided to little bit switch our attention and establish our foundation, which is called Rogatchi Foundation. Priority of this foundation is education, tradition, keeping tradition, education, and moral values. We try to help orphanages in Ukraine. It's Jewish orphanages for girls and boys. It was Jewish Children's Museum in New York, very good connections. And just again around the world, we just been working for different projects. And we just try to explain to the children about importance of education. Because nowadays it's very, very important.
Let me tell you about Lux Say Photo Art. There is several philosophical concepts and terms and substances which influence my life and the life and art of my husband, I imagine. Also, not only like artists, but as Jewish people, and it comes from our Jewish faith and knowledge of Torah and the knowledge of coming from our sages. And it came as light has come as the most important proponent in my art. Because as an artist, I do not believe in cynical art. Neither do I believe in what I call mockery work in art. I believe that art should inspire and give hope, and what can give more hope than light. And so light is the most important proponent for me in my art, and that's why I based my let's say photo art concept on that the day before. It's a direction of art photography which is focuses on producing pieces of art which are providing psychological comfort to people in hospitals, in clinics, in all kinds of medicine establishments. In Finland there is a Finnish society, oncology society, and the society is having hospitals, hospices, rehabilitation centers, and those people are responding very well on the collections. And also, as I know, that Spanish Anti-Cancer Society exploit my work for psychological comfort of their patients, Japan, UK, and now we're talking with Boston. And this light sustains us. And also, one can see it in my work and in Michael's work, that light comes out as a very active element. It's very special role that light have in our both lives and art. And it's always different. It's in our works, and it's always active, and it makes it, in Michael's work, in my work, it just it's finalized. It's the most important element there. Capturing light, it's a very difficult thing, and it's more than one can see. It's when you yourself becoming hopeful because of things that you probably don't even understand at this very moment when you're doing it. And when you became confident, and when you become aspiring. And also it's a lot of joy. When you're feeling this joy, and you know that it's light, it could be inner light as well. It could be light which is postponed, which you're hope for. But very often this is light which coming of positive attitude under very daring circumstances.
Let me tell you about metaphorical expressionism. It's three parts. First, it's meaning. When I start to work on some pieces, first I need to think it over and over again. And I put together all the details. I just actually construct in my mind, inside me. What I try to do in my art, I try to put many as possible different components in our life, in our vision, in our understanding, and to be much more metaphorical. This is one part. Another part, when you try to put your soul in the picture, is with deep understanding, that I start to think about it, what I see. That's another point. And third, to find artistic solution. This is a final solution. When I start to make this piece, I was absolutely sure how it should to be. Because I imagine in myself just absolutely empty street in the shadow or in small city, nothing left, only broken glasses and Hasidic head. This is Echo of Kazimierz. It is a Jewish quarter in Krakow. And I make it in almost near to Chanukkah. And it was one place with many, 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 many glasses and few candles. And the reflection of these candles just fill whole volume, whole place. And when you see it, you just start to understand what it means Chanukkah, what it means light, what it means life. It's so place where it's mostly whole Jewish population was eliminated, exterminated. The candles represent life, light, hope, joy, and now life come back. With light, with joy, with good synagogue, with good people, with good kosher restaurants.
For the 65,000 Jews, they was killed,
Yes.
Austrian Jews. And one of the sculptures
So, in the beginning of June 1995, I would like to ask you how Simon Wiesenthal celebrated the 50th anniversary of the end of the war. What was your impression?
You know, when people ask me to take part in the celebration, 50 years of the end of the war, naturally I survived. But in such moment, I was thinking about all these people, they had not survived. Especially, they was with me on the dead block in Mauthausen. And I was one of the speakers for the Chancellor, the Minister of Interior, the Governor of Upper Austria, and I in Mauthausen with 30,000 people. They were coming from all the world. And I was the only one between the speakers that was in Mauthausen. That was my last camp. And at that time, when I was coming from Buchenwald, and before Buchenwald, I was only 3 days in Auschwitz. On the railway station, they had not accepted us because they had not space. And maybe through this I remain alive. But in the last year I was in 11 camps. And then when I was coming to Mauthausen, on the way from the railway station to the camp, they killed 180. They could not walk. This was February 45. And then they bring us, and the camp doctor look on the people and select me to the dead block. And in the dead block, I survived through a miracle. We receive only one soup during the day and a small piece of bread, maybe 50 grams. That was everything. I survived, and what was the miracle? And a week later, I was coming February 7th, in the middle of February. They call in our block, we was 1,500. 800 in one part of the block and 700 in the other part. And the other part was people, they received a soup once in 2 days, because that was dying people. They asked somebody who can make drawings. Okay, and I was on the third block, and I say I. Then they told me, come down. Coming down, and he say, our the head of our block will have in a week his birthday, and we wish to make for him something nice, a drawing that we can, the functionary, that they can sign it. I say, okay, I can make it, but I have nothing. I need paper, I need a pencil, and so, and I make it. And for this, they gave me 10 days, a half soup more. And then from my other blog was coming people that I should sign something, and they bring me bread. And at that time, I was thinking about I should make something that remain after me.
Let me tell you about one of my paintings. It's called The Way, which I painted it for Simon Wiesenthal, and I give it to him. And it is a way of our souls, and inner light, which is stay in every Jewish soul. They are walking through millenniums, they are walking through destinies, they are walking through life to meet light of Creator. He loves this painting very much, and he put it in his study on the book, and he always looked at it. And now these paintings belong to Simon Wiesenthal family. This is light of our memory. We see little candle in reflection in my eye. And I made this using special effect. So in any place when you go, you will see that those eyes, our eyes of this always follow beauty. And this is light of our memory.
With my husband, Michael Rogatchi, we're living our life interwoven arts and philanthropy in it for many years, for 25 years by now. We would like to share as many of our projects with as many people as possible, with children, with adults, with Jewish, non-Jewish people. We're thinking and doing on many various projects rooted in our history, in our heritage, and also we would like to introduce more light in this life, or to this life. Light for us, for both of us, light is the main concept of Judaism and the main concept of worthiness of one's life. So not surprisingly, Chanukkah is one of the most important and special, miraculous, but also very aspiring moments for us, always, from our childhood. So in each of our projects, we would like to introduce and to keep this light, eternal light of Jewish heritage. And we are very, very happy and willing to share it with as many of people as we possibly can.
What I would like to say to young artists or people or children or teenagers who would like to be artists, that it's not just fun. You should to be very good educated, you should to learn a lot, and it's very, very, very hard work, unstoppable, around the clock. All the time you should to think about what you should to do, how you should to do, about what you should to make something, and be in constant working regime. Without it, is nothing will come. Without it, you become could be just ordinary nobody. Amateur. If you would like to be amateurs, okay, it's your problem, but don't call yourself artist. I'll tell you one story. When I was some 12, 13 years old, we have a company. It's very talented guys. Very good artists, very good mathematicians, very good chess players, sportsmen. But we have some small circle. And every one of us try to make sketches, try to draw, try to do it. And we will have some exercises. 4 or 5 of us go out and follow some person and try to construct his outlook from his back. So we put absolutely just attention and very attention and look at him, how he is moving, how he is looking here, and using just small knowledge of anatomy, we try to construct how he's looking from the front. How the nose, do he have glasses, what kind of glasses, where distributed glasses, and then somebody start to be very scared because 5 guys are following to you on the street, and then after that one of them just running at the front, look at you and make some strange movement to another guy. So somebody turn to us and said something. Somebody start to jump. Somebody asked, guys, what are you doing? And we try to explain. I say, okay, that's good. This is how we were working, how we were young. It was good school for me.
Then when it got to our foundation, the Rogatchi Foundation, which we founded in 2004, we thought a little bit further on. We thought what is most important thing in the world in general, so to bring children right. But we also are looking very much to help orphans, and especially Jewish orphans in Ukraine. So we are patronizing 2 small orphanages for boys and for girls there. So how to do it? It means educated and also to introduce them moral values that we believe are right ones and those who are moral values which are based on the humanity, mankind history, and so that to infuse children with the right set from where they will be going on, from right background, with spirituality, which is a very important thing. Because when you see people without spirituality, you can see a big difference in their attitude to life, how they do live their life, how they are feeling indeed there is situations, so people with faith and with spirituality are surviving morally far stronger than the other one.
בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ידו הפקיד רוחי בתשען והעירה ועם רוחי גבייתי השם לי ולא יירא.
This is the Riemann arch of Hurva. This painting I make exactly 20 years ago. Now this painting in Jerusalem Municipal Museum. I was asked, and this was my honor to give it to this painting to this museum. And 20 years ago, I even couldn't imagine that all this beautiful synagogue, Hurva, will be restored. Next day in Jerusalem, it's also from my childhood. It's about my mom, about our family. This is the Western Wall. This is a symbol of our strength, of our hope, of our life, of our country.